Hello everyone. I hope all of you are doing good. So today let us go through some of the updates from the Atlassian ecosystem. And yes, you're listening to Tea with Sparksys. If you are new to this channel, Sparksys channel, then do consider subscribing because we do a lot of talking about Atlassian tools on Sparksys channel and also on Ravi Sagar channel, which is my channel. I talk about Jira and wonderful things that you can do with Jira. So yeah, let us get started. Today I do have a few updates, and yes, I still haven't shared the updates from the Atlassian Team 25, which happened last week, and I think there are some significant updates. But I will make a separate video. I will make a separate podcast. Don't worry about it. I'm still, trying to absorb and waiting for the things to settle down, right? Because there is already a lot of noise, but I want to uh, just go through those updates properly so I can share it with you. And also, it is not just about sharing the updates because these are just updates and you can also do it yourself, but it's more about what I think as a consultant, as a Jira admin, about those updates and how those updates affect or might affect us. Okay, so yeah, let us go through the updates. The first update that I want to talk about is not really like a recent update, but I was waiting for one of the session, the Tea with Sparksy session, to talk about this update. Now, we all know about Bitbucket, right? Bitbucket is one of the Atlassian's tool. It is not massively, like as compared to GitHub, GitLab, it is not like a massively popular tool, but it is still being used by many companies, and I use it. We use it in our company Sparksys. We use Bitbucket, and we have been using Bitbucket for a long time. Now the thing is about Bitbucket, I've been noticing that Atlassian is doing something about Bitbucket. They are either adding a new feature or they are improving it. And recently, I noticed that Atlassian is doing some kind of a monthly office hour program, and I'm not 100% sure what they will do in these sessions. Basically, they are asking you to connect with them. So basically, Atla- Atlassian's Bitbucket team, especially Bitbucket pipeline teams, they want to help you, and I think they will be organizing these sessions to get feedback. I also want to learn a bit more about Bitbucket pipeline feature. I think I tried it in the past, and I think I've made maybe one or two videos in the past, but I never really did a deep dive. But I'm definitely interested in this. What I will be doing is I will be looking forward to. I will probably just go and take a look at the the calendar, and I think the sessions are scheduled for every month, last Friday. So last Friday of a month, starting from 27th and 28th of March, which is of course in the past. But if you have 1 hour of your time, Friday, last Friday of the month, then definitely do consider joining, and definitely a lot of learning here. So this is something that I thought I'll probably share. This update is from Principal Product Manager called Edmund, and Bitbucket pipeline team, I believe, I guess they have some plans. I need to look at the roadmap. I know there is a public roadmap. If you go to the Atlassian, if you just search online Atlassian roadmap, you will find basically upcoming features, things that are going to be released by Atlassian, and along with the status. So, for example, if you go to this cloud roadmap, just do a Google search if you are listening to this podcast, and then search for Bitbucket, or basically filter for Bitbucket, and then take a look at the at the updates. So as you can see, these are the updates like Atlassian Guard. I need to try for Atlassian Guard, by the way. I started looking at it, but not really in depth. But you can see here that there are so many things that they have released already. And if you also look for the upcoming if you search by status, like feature coming soon, you can see here that in quarter two, there is something related to pipeline. So they are going to automated deployment queue for Bitbucket pipeline. Okay, pipeline step level variable sharing. I don't know what this is. Maybe something to do with the pipeline, definitely. But pipeline YAML variable templating. So there are a lot of things. Enforce signed commits, suggest code changes, access token expiration, Rovo chat in Bitbucket, Docker image registry, which I think we talked about, and so many things. So basically, Atlassian is doing quite a lot on the Bitbucket side, and this is exciting, especially because cloud is their feature. I mean, it is already the feature, but they are doing everything on cloud, and I believe most of these features would be on Bitbucket cloud, and not really Stash, I guess. But we know that Bitbucket is going to stay. So do take a look at these monthly hours. The next update is actually a recent update from last week, and I think it was announced sometime during the Team 25, I guess, sessions. So we all know about apps, right? Apps are basically apps, or I should say, it used to be plugins, and it became modules, and it became apps. But Atlassian is doing some changes to the way they call their products. So basically, Jira software is a product, or Jira is a product. Confluence is a product, right? And product discovery is a product. So basically, these are apps. These are not apps. These are products. And I think for some reason, I don't know why, Atlassian is changing the name. So products will be renamed to apps, and this, I think, change will affect, I guess, everywhere. But because it's like a fundamental thing, when we talk about, okay, do you have access to this product, especially when you're doing something with Jira Service Management? I think, to be honest, any user who is doing something with Jira Cloud or cloud-based tools like Confluence, especially Jira admins, not really normal users. If you're a site admin, if you're an org admin, then you would go to your admin section, and then you will modify permissions or do something with products. You will probably assign those products to those users that you want. Now it will be renamed to apps. Now if they rename it to apps, so basically they have listed here like products renamed to apps in navigation, product pages renamed to apps, product URLs will be renamed to app URLs, product updates will be renamed to app updates, and product admin role will be renamed to app admin role. So this is fine. I'm sure they have a really good they have a really good reason for doing this, and I'm sure you're wondering what will they call the existing apps or plugins. So I believe they're going to call it as connected apps, I guess third-party apps. So everything will be an app. So that is what I think this particular page, this particular update is talking about. And I guess this change will not be like a recent it will definitely affect the instances, but I don't really think it will impact immediately. So I guess in the next few months we'll start seeing these changes. But this will be a big thing because we are all used to apps. To be honest, I still say plugin because that is how I mean when I talk about a plugin or a module, that is what I always I'm used to basically. And I prefer actually. I think I'm okay with plugin. I'm also okay with modules because I am also a Drupal developer. In Drupal, we have a concept of modules, right? We have core modules and we have contributed modules, but everything is a module, which is not really a core. So the way Drupal works, I know I'm going slightly off topic, but in Drupal we have core, Drupal core. Then we have core modules that you get with the core when you install Drupal, and you get core or contributed modules, which is basically third-party modules. So I think they are doing something similar. This is what I think. But definitely interesting update for all of you. The next update is about Jira Align. I am not I'm not massively familiar with the details of Jira Align. I've seen it briefly. I never used it. I'm not a Jira Align admin. I know some of my friends, they love Jira Align. I'm sure they have really good reasons, but I never really got a chance to try it out even. And that is fine. I'm not really complaining. And I don't really think there is also a Jira Align trial version. I think you can't do, I don't really think you can do that. I'm sure there is a way, but it's not really obvious when you go to the website, or maybe you need to request Atlassian for that. It's only for big companies, enterprises. But they have recently, I think, added this OKR hub, where I believe they are just trying to show at one place the overall progress and metrics related to the project or program. So I will let you go through this link. You will, of course, find all the links in the description of this video or this podcast. So go through this list, and you will learn about the OKR hub and how these OKR hubs will help you. I believe they have built this by looking at this screenshot. I believe they are, of course, pulling information from maybe Jira, I guess, and they are just trying to show the overall progress and also doing some high level numbers. So this is something interesting. I am not a Jira Line user or admin, so I can't really talk a lot, but do take a look at this page, and hopefully it will help you. Similarly, talking about Jira Line, there is also this Jira Line roadmap that Atlassian talked about in this post. And this post is actually from end of March, but I wanted to, wait for some time to talk about it. Now, this post is talking about all the upcoming features that are going to be there in Jira Line. So Jira Line actually looks now, it is of course not Jira, like standard Jira. It is definitely a different product, but I think they are trying to make it similar, if not same. Of course, it will never be same. Jira is Jira, Jira Line is Jira Line. Jira Line was always a different tool when they acquired. But I think they are now trying to add those features that will help and make users feel at home, because when you move from one tool to another tool, things are different. So on this post, on this page here, Jira Line roadmap presentation Q1, I can see here that they're talking about custom filters. They're talking about team hierarchy navigation that will be added soon. They're talking about audit log archival policy, deep linking, and support for Atlassian smart links. Now, Atlassian, I believe they are trying to use the word Atlassian smart link, Atlassian rich text editor, and OKR, which we just talked about, and also the improved objective details panel. So I think these features will hopefully help Jira Line users. But at the same time, what I can see here is that Jira Line looks not too different from Jira. But of course, it has a lot of these features that are in line with, I guess, those scaled agile methodologies. I remember doing a certification. I used to be an SPC, I guess. Yeah, I think SPC. I once did that SPC certification, I think, which is not really a simple certification. Of course, you can cheat if you want in the exam. It is not like a proctored exam, but I remember going through 180 or hundreds of presentations. I have also trained other people. So I'm quite comfortable and I understand the concept of scaled agile. But I think if you're not really interested in using Jira Line, you can still do a lot within Jira. And if you're looking for help, if you're not really sure in your organization how different teams will work together and how their progress can be tracked at one place, how your Scrum Masters will work together, you can still do that. I mean, you don't really need to follow safe or scaled agile frameworks or similar frameworks by book. You can pick up and you can actually follow the good parts, right? If not everything. The next thing that I want to talk about is the event in Kyiv. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. So basically this upcoming event is happening this week, basically next week, the week of April 21. And I believe this event There is no theme, I believe. I think the theme is just catching up or following up after Team 25. So if you are in Kyiv, if you are nearby, do consider going. This year I will try to attend. I don't really want to attend each and every event in my region, but definitely I want to attend more events. And whenever I am going to attend any event, I will definitely let my audience know, so that if you are also attending, we can catch up and we can meet. So yeah, do consider joining this event. I think it is definitely an in-person event, not really a virtual event. I prefer actually in-person event, because if you have to attend an event, I think in-person is better. But sometimes if you're not doing anything, or you have like some time, virtual event is also fine. Virtual events are, I mean, you just open one window and you leave it open, and you're just listening to what the speaker is or what the session is all about. But I think in-person events are sometimes better, if not always. Okay, so just a few more things. Not recently, but there was a question on the community, I think sometime last year, about capturing, and it's not like an unusual question. It's a very common thing. The question was about how to capture dev story points, how to capture QA story points. And I think the question was more about, if we're talking about a sprint, should we, or how we manage the dev task versus the QA task. And of course their estimation. Because if you're working on a sprint, or if you want to follow sprints, then you may want to have one sprint for development, then another sprint for QA, and so on. So there are different ways of doing it. It really depends on the company and the way you work. But in this video, I talked about this topic a bit more in detail. So do consider watching this video if you have time. And what else? There was also one more thing that I wanted to talk about, and that is this blog which I wrote about Confluence. So we all know about Confluence. Some of us, not me personally, I'm not a big fan of Confluence, but I like Confluence. It is not great, but I think in the last few years, there were like a lot of changes, and I think for good, of course. Especially the way I quite like the way Jira and Confluence can talk to each other, like whiteboards and displaying Jira issue information within Confluence, and also displaying Confluence page information within Jira. Wonderful, right? So Confluence administration, Confluence usage is different. If you are learning Jira, then you don't really need to learn Confluence, because it's a simple tool, but still there are so many things that you might not know. So I wrote a blog post. Oh, not me. This blog post was written by Vinod, and Vinod is talking about how to change the page ownership. I actually made a video on this topic. So there is a blog post and there is also a video. So up to you. If you prefer videos or if you prefer reading, then you can go through this. So yeah, that is all. That is all I wanted to talk about in this video, in this session. Atlassian updates with Ravi, with me. And I hope you also learned something new today in this session, in this podcast. And of course, do consider subscribing to our channels, Sparksys and Ravi Sagar. So yeah, that is it. That is all I wanted to talk about. I hope you have a good day. Bye-bye.